What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of True Sports with MK. I'm your host, yours truly, MK. We are back with another episode. First things first, guys, you already know what I need y'all to do. I need you guys to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. As well as, guys, please get me to that road to 100 subscribers. Y'all know we on that road. The year is almost over, so I need that 100 subscribers before 2020 has expired. Please and thank you. Now, if you watched last week's episode, then you should already know what this episode is going to be about. We're talking about the Detroit Pistons, them bad boys, them young bucks coming on the scene. Now, if you already know, like I know, the Detroit Pistons have not had a great year yet. We thought last year, they got the first draft pick. That's big news. Anyone who gets the first draft pick, we got Cunningham. He came, of course. Every young rookie is not going to have an amazing season like Kobe Bryant or LeBron James or that sort. Every rookie is not going to come in and just automatically get their team to the playoffs, to a championship. It's not going to happen. But with Cade having that 1 year up and now he's back ready for his second year, he's ready to get it started. Now, Detroit Pistons is the youngest NBA team right now. That's why I call them the Young Bucks. And of course, everyone's going to look at them as no threat and they're going to be the underdog team, I feel like, because of the great young talent that they have. And then the Detroit Pistons did throw a little old school in there by adding Kimball Walker. Now, Kimball, he's not the same Kimball Walker he was when he first got into the league. He can still do a little something, but he's not that prime player anymore. But by having him on the team with young individual players who are point guards, and the Pistons is known for having numerous of shooting guards and point guards when they really do not need them. Now, they stepped their game up with getting a couple bigs. They got Orleans Noel. He's a center forward. He played with my boy Russ with OKC for a minute. And he's a good big. He can get the rebound. He's very hungry and is definitely going to get those boards whenever the ball go up. So I'm glad they picked him up. They also have Stewart, who's a forward center, who's not too big, not one of those normal big centers, but he's one of those centers who can still get the ball and get the rebound and play great defense in the paint. So he's a young center that they have on their team as well, who was there. I believe that he was their center last year, Stewart. Y'all know he the one who got into it, went crazy with LeBron and all that. So as you see, he don't care who he is. He's a roughneck. He's a Detroit bad boy for sure. So they had Stewart. And then they got, I feel like this is a good pickup the Pistons end up rocking with. Bojan Bogdanovic. He's a great shooter from the three. Like, he's one of those shooters, you give it to him, he's going to knock that thing down. And I can't forget about the rookie that they picked up this offseason, Jayden Ivy. Now, Jaden Ivy, he's one of those players that they have that I feel like is really down for Detroit and winning a championship for the city. His dad played for the Detroit Lions. His mom played for the WNBA Sharks. Now he's coming in playing for the Detroit Pistons. It's just magnificent how he's all around Detroit. Like, he's Detroit sports blood. Like, it's running through his blood, his veins, from his mom to his dad, all playing in a professional sport in Detroit, Michigan. That's big for him now to be drafted playing for the Detroit Pistons right after his family. Like, that's legacy. And you could tell when he got drafted, he was so excited to be playing for the Pistons, which I was excited for him, because I feel like any person who look like who getting drafted to the Pistons, they upset. Just because of how much work they have to do to be able to be an elite team and be a contender team. Like, they have a lot of work to do, but I feel like this season and the players they have on their team, they can make it into the playoffs with this team. They're young, they're healthy. There's nothing. I feel like they got the connection during offseason. I feel like they'll be able to get on the court and play great together. The only downfall I do have with the Pistons is they're not having a lot of experience. They don't have anyone on that team that has experience with playing and making it to the playoffs, and going far in the playoffs. No one on that team has did that in the NBA. Maybe when they're playing college, but not in the NBA league. And that's the only downfall I feel for the Detroit Pistons. But if you look at historically with the Detroit Pistons, They have a game plan with when they draft players and how they want their team to start. They did the same thing with Isaiah Thomas. Drafted Isaiah Thomas, point guard, got him situated. Next couple seasons, they're winning back-to-back championships. You do the same thing with bring Joe Dumars too in that mix. Then you bring it to the 2004 Pistons when you get Chauncey Billups, Richard Hamilton. They started off based on drafts and making their players elite and building around that player. If you look at it, and they always build it around a point guard. You have all those players that the Detroit Pistons build off on to get far and make that champ and get to the championship in the playoffs. So if you look at it, I feel like the Detroit Pistons have their own little game plan that no one else knows and no one else I feel like is doing, because it takes a long time to get to the main goal, which is a ring. So you look at it, Detroit, is y'all game plan slowing you guys down from getting that championship just because of how you're playing it? Maybe you guys need to start, instead of focusing all on your draft of a rookie who's coming in, does not have a lot of experience, instead of putting on your coins on that individual, how about trade for someone who's big that you can get on the team that can contribute as well? That's just some stuff that Detroit, if y'all need me on your board, just let me know. I will drop everything if the pay is right. Just saying. But I feel like the Detroit Pistons, they have a great mindset in how they're moving, but it is taking a long time. Like, we haven't won a ring since 2004. This is decades ago now. Since the last time we got a ring in Detroit. With this young team and then adding a little bit of vets on the team, not a lot, but a splash who can contribute, can very much so lead the Detroit Pistons to the right path as far as making it to the playoffs. As well as they're trying something new I see in this offseason. They had Kyrie and Steph Curry training with the Detroit Pistons. Like, they have current NBA players training NBA players on another team. I don't know where they do that at or who does that, but if it helps my boys get a ring, I'm all for it. Like I told y'all, backtracking a little bit, the Detroit Pistons, they feed off point guards. They have numerous of point guards and shooting guards and small players on their team. It was very smart of the Pistons organizations to say, hey, we're going to get two of the best elite point guards in the league and come and train our whole roster. Everyone. They're going to show us what they do and how to succeed, and we're going to execute that on the court. I feel like that was great. And I feel like it was even better on Steph Curry and Kyrie's end, because you're going to be playing against these guys a couple times throughout the season. You're going to be playing against these guys, and you're training these guys. That shows a lot about your character and how it's more than just a game. That's exactly what I look at that as, because even though I know we're going to be playing against them, I'm going to show them the ropes to be successful in this field. I'm going to show them different moves that they can do, different ways to execute to be able to go far. I'm going to show them that. Not because it's going to benefit me, it's going to benefit them in their craft. That shows a lot about those players, because they didn't have to do that. And a lot of people wouldn't do that. I'm about to be playing against y'all. I'm not about to do this. I can see if they were retired, just coming in the court. How they do on 2K, had a little NBA legend come to the court, see you practice. They actually are still playing, and they're showing you what they're going to do when they go on the court. I feel like that was great, and that was very smart from the organization to do for the Detroit Pistons. They have the #1 draft point guard, Jaden Cunningham, who was elite in college. Started off the season kind of rough, but then the end of the season, after that injury, came back wonderful. And then you bring in the #3 draft, Jayden Ivy, who's a beast, who feel like he should have been the #1 draft, who has the most confidence. You bring him into the mix. You get rid of Jeremy Grant, who kind of held the ball too much, wanted the ball, and was taking it away from Cunningham being able to facilitate and be a point guard and do what he do. You get rid of Jeremy Grant, and then you add Jaden Ivy. You add Isaiah Stewart, Then, of course, you got your bigs. You could put any big in there that you have right now. You can have Isaiah Stewart as a center or Noel if you want to have him starting. And you have other players on the bench that will come off who can shoot. You have a backup point guard, Kimball Walker. Because I wouldn't start Kimball Walker. No matter if he's a vet or not, he's not there. He doesn't have that explosive like Cunningham or any of the other young rookies have. So I would have him as a backup point guard who could come out whenever Cunningham is tired and still give us some points and know how to facilitate the team to where we don't have to have him on the court throughout the whole time. Perfect. You got that, and then you got your bigs. You drafted for my man Ford. You have everything you need. It's just about executing and doing it the correct way. And I feel like Casey, he's been coaching them pretty darn well. Even though I didn't really have a great season last year, it wasn't the worst. It wasn't the worst. You know, they could have been down further, but they still was up there. So I got a lot of hope in my Detroit Pistons. You know, I don't really talk about the Pistons that much just because it's not a lot that I see progressing with them. Now, after this offseason and seeing everything that they've been doing and just seeing just little bits, like with the whole Curry being in the gym, working with them, from them getting a couple nice little draft picks, you know, you see the progression and see, okay, they may have something this season. And I feel like this season, I feel like they got something. This is a young team, the youngest team in the NBA. They gonna be coming out there and they gonna be pushing it and going far. I promise, and I kid y'all not. And I'm just so excited to see Ivy play on the Pistons square. Like, I feel like his first game, he gotta show out. You gotta show out, Ivy. Like, I want to see you put up numbers. I want to see you make your mom proud, make your dad proud for playing in a Detroit uniform. I'm just really ready for this NBA season. The preseason start October 3rd, next week. So I'm excited to see the little preseason, see how it would start off with the Pistons, as well as all the other NBA teams. You know, Media Day was today. Everybody was excited. Everybody was taking pictures. So I'm ready for this NBA season. So y'all stay tuned. Y'all comment down below what y'all feel like the Pistons go do this season. Let me know, do y'all think they gonna make it into the playoffs? Also, let me know, how do you think the first half of the season is going to go? And when I say first half of the season, I mean from the beginning of the season until All-Star break. Once All-Star break, we going to see how the Pistons doing. We're going to do a little recap on everything of their season. But y'all comment, let me know. Talk to me and I'm going to talk to y'all. We here with it. Y'all also make sure y'all get me to 100 subscribers before the end of this year. Y'all like, y'all comment, y'all subscribe, y'all do everything. Get this podcast up there. I need y'all support. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. I think I'm going to double post this week. So y'all look out for that. If I don't double post this week, y'all know it's going to be an episode up next week. So y'all stay tuned and y'all like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm out this day.